got it.
All right, welcome, deal makers. So I'm starting off a new segment. I'm starting to interview people. I'll be interviewing people with different backgrounds, interviewing investors, entrepreneurs, real estate, brokers and agents, freelancers, and all that, with the objective of learning from them, how they make money. Now, in this channel, if you have been following my channel for quite some time, I talk a lot about the stock market. I talk about the investing in real estate. But sometimes the big thing that stops a person from getting started or buying when there is an opportunity, like right now. So there are a lot of stocks that are bargain right now in the US market because of the market crash. But it's hard to buy in if you don't have buying power. So that's why I'm interviewing people who can help us share some of their wisdom on say help us how to make more money, how to start a side hustle. So I'll be interviewing people from different backgrounds. And my guest tonight, my very first guest in this series of interviews that does not have a name yet. If you have any ideas for a name, please let me know in the comment section. So my first guest is a YouTube channel manager. I didn't realize that there was a career like that, but maybe 20 years ago, there was no career like that. But right now, a brand new career, a brand new way of making money. He's making money from home. So this is a work from home career. And he's doing this as his own business. So he is not employed. So he is a freelancer. He runs the YouTube channel Filipino Freelancer. So guys, let's welcome John Lemuel Jumawid. Hi, John. Thank you for visiting me here.
Hey, Ronald. Great to be here. I'm humbled and honored to be part of the Dealmaker community. And so, hey, everyone.
All right. All right. Bro, did I pronounce your name correctly? Jumawid?
Humawi job, bro.
Jumawid.
But it's
All
okay.
right. All right. Sorry for that. I should have
No
asked
problem.
before we before we went live.
No
So
problem, bro.
because the thing with live you make mistakes. So uh,
Yeah,
guys, we just learn from our
yeah.
mistakes. Right, so John, can you give us an idea how long have you been a
Mhm.
freelancer and how you got started becoming a YouTube channel manager?
Sure, sure. So I started freelancing around the end of 2017. And I actually got my start as a video editor. So I started out editing videos for US based companies. So my first client was a real estate photographer and videographer. So I was editing videos for him where he was shooting properties. So that video he would put up on his website or a real estate website. So basically as a listing, no? So
Yeah.
people who potential buyers would be able to see not only photos but videos of it as well. So that's how I got my start as a video editor, and then eventually I evolved into basically I niched down. I looked for a specific niche that I could help because video editors, so many people need video editors, but I wanted to niche down to those who really it's essential to their business. So basically, I niche down to um, marketing agencies who use YouTube as a marketing arm for their business and for their clients. So that's how I evolved into becoming managing YouTube channels.
All right. And well, what did you do before getting into video editing?
Mhm.
Was that also your job before?
No, bro. Actually, I was in a corporate background for almost 10 years as a financial associate in a bank. Because
Oh,
my
okay.
background is accounting. And so my parents are both CPAs, but I didn't follow in their step. But still an accounting background, and so that's how I got into my banking career, which lasted for almost 9 years or 10 years. And then during that time, I developed this passion and hobby for photography and videography, and that led me to doing a side hustle for the bank itself. So I was covering events. I was covering the end of year party for the bank. I was doing CSR events during the weekend. So that kind of blossomed into something that I wanted to do, and that eventually it led me to doing it full time.
All right. So this very interesting pala, no? So you were able to get into freelancing because you already had a passion or a hobby,
Mhm.
even though it has absolutely no relation to your to your job.
Yeah, exactly.
Getting it. What was it difficult no, transitioning? Like what was the if there was one thing you wish you had known when you were
Right.
starting, what would that be?
Yeah, yeah. The one thing that I wish I had known was having the knowledge to choose a market or a niche, as they say, because when I started, all I had in mind was video editing. So I was like, I was peddling that service to anybody and everybody who I thought needed video editing. So that made it a lot harder for me to find clients because I wasn't focused on the market that I wanted to serve. And so there were instances where I was talking to people who don't really need video editing. They kind of just thought that they could help their business somehow, but it wasn't really a priority. So what happened is I had I got into low paying hourly jobs basically because
Mhm.
that market, although used video editing, it wasn't really a priority for them. So that would be like the one thing that I wish I knew. I wish I had started with a market, chose a market or a niche that really needed my service. That would help. That would have helped my journey a lot better.
All right, all right. So how much were you earning back then?
Yeah, my first job was it was a full-time job, actually, a full-time gig, actually, 40 hours a week at
Mhm.
$3.50 per hour. I remember the
Wow.
exact amount because it was my first. The great thing about that job is, although it was hourly, um, the owner didn't have me do a time tracker. So basically, it was we did it on a trust basis, and he only required that I have an update or an output at the end of each day. So basically,
Mhm.
it was set at $3.50 per hour for 40 hours a week. So basically, 160 hours a month, right?
Yeah.
So it's kind of small if you think about it. Coming from a corporate background where I was there for 9 years, my salary was way more than that. But I accepted it because I was at home, right? Less expenses. And I actually moved back here in my hometown as well. In the banking background I did, I was in Manila, Metro Manila. I was in
Mhm.
the fourth BGC. So I was renting there, a lot of other expenses. But when I moved back here in my hometown, so there was obviously less expenses. So the lesser income, I made it work for the lesser income, basically.
All right, all right. Where do you live ba?
I'm in Cagayan de Oro City.
Again, the Oro City. All
Yep,
right, nice, nice.
yep.
There are a lot of freelancers there.
hmm Yeah, there. I read this report. A friend shared it to me. There are a lot of freelancers or work from home people in Cagayan de Oro and Iligan. Iligan is about an hour away from here. There are a lot of work from home workforce here. I
Mhm.
just
Yeah,
discovered that.
yeah.
Yeah.
So when you were, I guess, one question that
Mhm.
most newcomers would have is, where do you get clients? So in the beginning, where
Right.
were you
Right.
getting clients, and like,
Yeah.
where are you getting clients now?
Right, right, yeah.
Uh,
Super good question. For me, when I was starting out, I had no idea actually that there were other forms. The only form that I knew was freelancing platforms, right? Because
mhm,
that's what they offer is they connect businesses with freelancers. So I started applying to online jobs. That PH that was um, the biggest platform in the Philippines, along with Upwork. So that's how I got my start. My start, but it took me a long time because it took me a lot of applications. Because again, I wasn't really clear on my market, and all I knew was that I wanted to edit videos. So, and at the same time, it was totally new for me. So I didn't know how to send a proposal that would connect with the prospect to want to hire me. So it took me, I would say, it took me around 6 months roughly to get that online work. But before that, I was also doing gigs on the side. Like I was doing
mhm, mhm.
events, videography events for here locally and in other places as well. I was also doing photography. Basically, any gig that would like sustain me at that time of transition where I was looking for to build that freelancing business. So yeah, it that was the hardest part, the getting the first client. But once you get the first client, then you start to get confidence, right, in your abilities, and then yeah, from then on, now I'm getting clients. I still get clients through freelancing platforms, but now I also get them directly. So I'm connecting with them directly on LinkedIn, on Facebook. So there's a lot of ways to connect with clients, not just freelancing platforms. You just have to have the clarity of what market you want to work with, because once you have that clarity, then you can reach out to those people directly, right? For example, in LinkedIn, the you can visibly see the profiles of the people there. So if your market is coaches, right, online coaches or business coaches, you can search for business coaches on LinkedIn and you can connect with them there. So yeah.
All right, all right. Well, that's very valuable advice.
Hmm.
I'm also undergoing that process right now.
Hmm.
So I'm also looking
Hmm.
for freelance clients. So that's why I appreciate learning more
Hmm.
things about that. And
Right.
did you have, well, Kanina, you mentioned you had, that was almost 6 months before you
Hmm. Hmm.
found your um, first
First.
first gig, but you were also doing side gigs there.
Hmm.
Do you have periods where you have no work?
Right, right. So
Oh.
the first job, it was since it was a full time gig. This is one of the things that I wish I knew as well. I still treated that that job, well, that project as a job. So I was acting like an employee. So I wasn't looking for other leads. I wasn't looking to build
Mm,
my business. In other words, so I was dependent on that one client, which is okay. But then I slowly realized that what if this client decided to just go in another direction with his business? So that would leave me with no work, right? Fortunately, we were able to work long term. I think it was around 8 months. During that time, it was consistent work from that client. But then when he decided to leave, that's when I was like, oh no, I have to find another client. Like that was the period where I kind of had a light bulb moment that okay, this is the challenging part about freelancing. You don't know when clients will just decide to leave, right? It's not like a full time
yes.
job where you have the security and the stability of a company who's always there. Freelancing projects depend on the client. So that's when I started to realize, okay, I have to treat this as a business, that I have to constantly look for leads, and I have to, build the pipeline of um, projects. So not just working on one, but working on multiple and managing that. So now I have no periods of work because usually with my clients, I deal with them on a monthly retainer
Mm,
agreement.
mhm.
So we every month we have a set of specific deliverables that I need to deliver to them, and in exchange for that we have a fixed fee. So I have about four clients on that retainer. So every month it's a recurring revenue, and then I also have some short-term projects like a week or 2 weeks on the
Mhm,
side.
mhm.
Yeah.
All right. So no, it's really a. I guess it's already you're already at a stage that it's a good business. It's a
Hmm.
running business already.
Yeah, yeah, but
Right.
I'm in a stage where like I'm building the system. So right now I have one assistant video editor helping me, and I also have a lead gen specialist, which is my brother. So basically a three-man team, and I'm in the process of building out a system so I can hire more people to do the actual work, and that leaves me to do like the bigger part of the business, like the leadership, looking for more leads and all that. So spending more time on the business instead of in the business itself.
All right, all right. Well, I'm just taking down notes because you mentioned something
Mm-hmm.
very good. You're already in the process of hiring people, and I guess
Mm-hmm.
that's something that we should tell. Well, I guess I should tell everyone
Mm-hmm.
because especially right now, diba, with the pandemic, a lot of people have lost jobs. So
Right.
it's really good that you are able to give at least you're able to give jobs to people
Employment.
at a time
Yeah.
when give employment at a time when
Mm-hmm.
everything or when the economy is not doing well. So
Right.
kudos to you, Jan. I will definitely promote that.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right. So, but for example, for someone who wants to get started, one of the things
Mm-hmm.
that you mentioned earlier was you wish you had known,
Mm-hmm.
or you had clarity on your market. So,
Right.
um, I guess aside from that, or if that is the
Mm-hmm.
most important thing, what
Mm-hmm.
advice would you give someone who wants to become a YouTube channel manager? What are,
Right.
say,
Right.
the 4 or 5 steps that they should take?
Right. Right. Yeah. So, to anybody who is thinking of becoming a YouTube channel manager, I would suggest, because for me, I really have an interest in YouTube itself. So I love the platform. I love studying it, analyzing it. So if you have a passion for that platform, then yes, that's definitely a great start. And I would say think of a specific market. Here I go again with the market, but I really do think it's important because it gives you a focus as to who you want to target. So think about a market um, on YouTube, because YouTube itself is a niche, right? But inside YouTube, there's so many other niches, right? There's finance, there's real estate, there's Bitcoin trading, right? There's so many niches there that, depending upon your interest, that you could enter, right? So think about that. What is it that interests you? What is it that you're passionate about, that you want to help, and focus on that niche. And as a YouTube channel manager, really, it's all about putting your client first, right? How can you give value to them through managing their YouTube channel? So one of the things that I that I do for my clients is strategy, right? Content strategy, like what topics or titles. You know this, Ronald. Like
Yes.
you have to come up with topics that people would want to watch, right? Because it's no use coming up with content that people don't search for or people don't click on. So that's one of the things that I do think about strategy. And then video editing, you could outsource that. Before, my mistake, Ronald, was I thought that I had to do everything. Coming from an employee background, I thought that I have to do everything. But if you don't know how to edit videos, that's okay. You can outsource that, or you can hire somebody to help you or collaborate with you. And then last thing is the channel analytics or optimization of the channel. So how can we ensure that the thumbnails are clickable? People would want to click on. How do we ensure that we are putting the right tags on the topics on our videos? Do we have a channel banner? Yeah. So basically, um, all those aspects of trying to get your channel out there to your target audience.
All right, all right. Well, so definitely, let me just summarize. I guess
Mhm.
for our listeners, have a
Right.
passion for YouTube. Definitely, because it's the YouTube
Mhm.
channel manager, you need to
Right.
really want to work inside YouTube, and then think of specific markets to serve. Right now, can you share the markets that you have served in the past?
Hmm. Yeah. So right now I am helping coaches, basically those who have, like, they have online programs. They are teaching something. So I have a client who is in um, coaching programs for high school students, getting them to learn about SET, ACT, those kind of test prep, so that they can go to better colleges, right? So I also have a marketing coach who is working with clients to help them build their business through Facebook ads, right? So basically, any brand or entrepreneur who has a coaching or a course that they want to sell. And the reason that's my market is because um, the YouTube becomes a marketing arm for their business. So anytime we put out a video, that has a possibility of getting a new client for their business, and because of that, they can afford to have my service, right? Because it's very
Mm,
hard to get a market. Like for example, if I just chose any YouTuber who is doing like, let's say, random videos, it's very hard to tie in the the expense, in other words,
mhm.
of
Yeah.
hiring me to manage their channel when they don't have the income to generate the ability to pay me. So
Yes.
that's what I said, that you have to think about a market that has a need for that, for YouTube channel management, but at the same time can afford your service.
Right. Right.
Mhm.
And you, what if the markets that you mentioned earlier was real estate, or
Mm,
what was that for video editing?
yeah, that was my that was the first one, my my initial
Okay.
project. But
Okay.
thinking about it, yeah, that could be a lucrative market as well for YouTube channel management, because if you can get like if one video can lead them to a sale, right, of a property, that's huge, because properties are of course high ticket items, they cost a lot. So
Mhm.
it would make sense to use that as a marketing arm. In fact, I've seen YouTube channels do that now.
All right. All right. But I guess my question, personally, my question
Mhm,
here is, so for example, there's a real estate broker or real estate company
mhm,
that uses YouTube as a lead generation arm.
mhm,
And I've actually seen some channels that already have
mhm.
millions of subscribers,
Right, right, right,
and their channels are getting, millions of views. So do
right,
they
right.
also make money from their channels even if they don't sell properties?
Yeah, they do. So one major way that they can make money is through ad revenue, right? So since they have already a lot of following, a lot of people are watching their videos, and if you have a lot of viewers, then they can have a lot of people seeing the ads that YouTube puts on their videos. So basically, a YouTube channel can generate. That's the one of the great things about YouTube, is that YouTube partners with you, with your channel, to generate income. So 50% of ad revenue goes to you, and the other half goes to YouTube. So
Yeah.
if you have a real estate channel generating that many views, they can generate income from ads alone, and that is separate from the real estate, right? The real estate listing that they have as well. So it becomes another income stream for the company.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. Very, very interesting. So, especially I've seen some channels that already have millions of subscribers.
Right.
So,
Right.
and the thing there is, after you have sold that property, because usually it's just one property, unless it's
Mhm.
a project or unless no, it's a condo building with a lot of units. So they're
Mhm.
still making money even if they've sold the house already.
Yeah,
So
exactly, exactly.
very interesting perk, for real estate business owners. All right.
Right.
So just going back. So again, have a passion for the platform. If you want to become a YouTube channel manager, you really have to love YouTube.
Mhm.
Think of specific markets to target. Uh,
Mhm.
have a content strategy, for your
Mhm. Mhm.
clients.
Mhm.
And if there are skills, this is the good news. If there are skills that you don't have right now, you can actually outsource those skills or collaborate, with other people. And then watch the channel analytics. So you really need to learn, how
Mhm.
to, I guess, interpret or make sense of the analytics, which is actually what I'm trying to do right now as I build
Right.
my channel. Yes.
Right.
So
Right.
how did you learn? So did you have to like enroll in an expensive
Mm.
course, or what are the resources that helped you become a successful YouTube channel manager?
Right. Great question, bro. Actually, I didn't have to enroll in any of these expensive courses, because actually there's a lot now, right? One course I saw was around $2,000, so that's like 100,000 pesos, right? So you would really have to invest in something like that. But for me, basically, I used YouTube. So I used the free resource that I had with me. So I looked at content creators who were creating content about how to grow a YouTube channel. They were sharing their tips and tricks, even video editing, bro. that skill I learned on YouTube itself. I didn't go to a video editing school. I didn't go to any formal schooling for that. It's basically learning on my own. So that's good news for anybody who wants to get into it. Is because you don't need to invest in an expensive course. You can basically just do research on your own and test it out, see what works and what doesn't. That's really the key, and just have fun with it. Maybe down the line, once you get more and more clients, right? You get bigger clients. That's when you can maybe level up your skill, and you would have the money to invest in courses like this. The great thing that I can say, bro, is that when you're giving value to a client, when you're focusing on helping them, they actually give back more than just the money that they pay you. So, for example, this marketing client that I have, as I was helping her, giving her value, she actually gave me access to that course that I mentioned, that $2,000 course. She gave access to me because she wanted me to level up. She wanted me to learn. So yeah, that's what the great thing about it.
All right, all right. Well, thank you for sharing that, John.
Yeah.
Uh, we have, well, maybe let me just take the time to greet Benjamin Smolinaires. Hello, Benjamin. Thank you for watching live. Uh, you mentioned here, you mentioned it's good to collaborate. Do you
Mm.
yourself collaborate? I guess I don't know if this is directed to me or to John, but how about you, John? Do you collaborate on projects?
Yeah. Is it collaborating on YouTube or? Oh yeah, now I'm seeing the question. Hey Benjamin, is it collaborating on YouTube or like the freelancing business? If it's on YouTube, then yes, definitely. Because if on YouTube if you collaborate with people, it gives you access to their audience, right? It gives you more exposure, right? You're not just in your niche. You're collaborating with others, and I always this is what I learned. Like when you collaborate with somebody, you have to just make sure that you're giving more value than you're receiving, right? You have to make sure that the person you're collaborating gets a whole lot more from the collaboration than you, because that's what it's all about, right? It's about giving value, and eventually that value will come around to you.
All right, all right. Well, thank you for that answer, John. And
Mhm.
if you like that answer, please make sure to smash the like button for the YouTube algorithm,
Yes,
because
smash that
smashing the like button is very, very important in YouTube.
like. Hmm.
And actually, yeah, collaboration is what I'm doing right now. So yeah, I invited John because I saw John's channel. He talked about freelancing, and no, one of the concerns that I usually get is that, like I mentioned earlier, no, I want Ronald. I want to invest. No, I like what you're saying. I want to invest in stocks. I want to invest in real estate, but I don't have extra money, especially now that the economy stuff. I just don't have that extra cash flow. So that's
Hmm.
why I reached out to John, and I'm going to be reaching out to people who have skills that I don't have, and I'll be asking them how do you make money now. And if you just joined watching this channel, I highly recommend that you watch the replay because John actually mentioned tips on how to get started, how to make money as a YouTube channel manager, and this could be a way for you to make extra cash so that that extra cash you can use to invest, invest in stocks, invest in real estate, etc. All right. So uh, I was supposed to ask something. I lost my train of thought. But good thing I have a cheat sheet over
God.
here. So, bro, uh, when you tell people that you are a freelancer or that you are a YouTube channel manager,
Mhm.
especially your friends, are there any misconceptions that they have that you have to explain to them? Uh,
Right, yeah. Yeah, I get that a lot actually. A lot of my especially my mom's friends, that generation, they have trouble understanding like what is it that you do? Do you work for YouTube? Do you they can't understand like why a business would have somebody managing their channel. They can't it's a fairly new um, job, right? Ronald, you
Yes.
mentioned this gig, this business did not exist just a few years ago. So a lot of people can't get their mind around why would anybody um, need YouTube channel management. But really, it's all about helping a business. The business needs to generate leads, right? They need to look for clients. So YouTube is just another arm in that endeavor, and so I help my clients get more clients for their business. So yeah, I guess the biggest misconception is they or not really misconception. It's just that they don't understand quite. They don't understand why this project exists.
Or probably why it pays well.
Yeah, exactly.
Because I can imagine, well, you were you mentioned you worked in Manila, right? You
Hmm.
worked in BGC, and for those of you who are not from the Philippines, BGC is one of the, I guess it's the emerging financial district in the Philippines. It's now becoming the leading financial district in the Philippines. Now, a lot of international companies are setting up shop there, and a lot of the employees there who work there are actually well paid. So, now
Hmm.
someone who is working in Manila and then moves back to Cagayan de Oro. Now, I'm not saying that Manila is better than Cagayan de Oro, right? I
Yeah,
could imagine that probably maybe it's better there now. I don't know. Like you probably have less COVID infections there compared to Metro Manila, right? So uh, maybe it's hard for them to think about that because you have a high paying job in Metro Manila, and now you're working from home and probably getting paid more. So
yeah. Totally. Like, I'm actually like, although it took me a while to get to where I am, but I'm earning more than double what I earned in corporate world. And that's just because I understand the market that I want to serve, and I understand the value that it brings to their business. So that's why I can um, charge the way I do, because I have clear understanding of the value that I bring.
all right, all right. Thank you, John. Uh, well, Benjamin has a comment here, although it's not related to our topic right now. But Benjamin, thank you. I would definitely be doing that in the future, doing live examples, or maybe sharing some deals in real estate. But it's just that right now, for this particular segment, I'm focused more on helping people generate a side income, or maybe generate an additional stream of income as a YouTube channel manager. But yes, definitely, I'll be doing more of that or sharing more of that in the future. And I'll actually also be interviewing people who are also active in real estate. So please just continue to subscribe and make sure that you hit the bell button so that you'll be notified whenever we have new topics or new interviews in the future. All right. So, um, bro, now that you are working on your own business, so
Mhm.
one of the difficulties there is you don't have a boss already, diba?
Yeah.
And it's nice, diba, when employees often think that, hey, I want to become my own boss. But when
Right.
you're already your own boss, you don't know the challenges that a boss actually encounters. So I guess in your in these past years that you have been a freelancer, a YouTube channel manager, like
Mhm.
what has been your biggest failure, and what did
Right.
you learn from it?
Right. Yeah, one of my biggest failures, I would say, is I was working with a client, and to build her YouTube channel, basically. But at that time, I didn't really have a system in place. So we were all over the place in terms of workflow. Like, we were going back and forth about the type of content, the type of videos. It wasn't a smooth. Um, it wasn't a smooth relationship that I would have preferred. So although from my end, I felt like I didn't really give value to her and to her business. Although we worked only for around a month, I would say, and yeah, looking back on it, I wish I had a better system in place at that time, so that we would have a more efficient workflow and um, basically help her more with her business.
All right. So
Yeah,
having a system is really important, and especially if you have your
yeah,
own business. So it's
right.
good that now you're already developing that, and really sometimes you just really need to learn along
Yeah,
the way. Yeah.
yeah, exactly, bro. Like, one of the things that I get a lot from people who want to start freelancing is that they're afraid to fail. But you have to realize you have to fail, or you're gonna fail eventually. You're gonna have to accept that you're gonna fail because it's you're starting something new, and the only way that you can learn from other people as well. But most of the time, you're gonna have to learn on your own from your mistakes, and you're in other words, you're learning by doing, right? The more you do it,
Yeah.
the more you fail, the more you improve. Okay, this is what I need to do next time. Okay, I did this wrong, I should have done it this way. So my advice would be is it's okay to fail. What's more important is that you learn from your biggest mistakes and your failures.
All right. All right. Yes, that's very important, and it doesn't just apply to becoming a freelancer, right? It really
Yep.
applies to any business, any endeavor, whether you're investing in properties, investing in the stock market, or starting a side hustle. Right?
Yeah.
And now that you're your own boss, now how do you motivate yourself? Right.
Yeah. Great question, bro. Yeah. Before, right, when you're an employee, you have a boss, right, telling you what you need to do, what are your deliverables. When you're a business owner or freelancer working on your own, you have control of your time. Especially in my case, I'm no longer working hourly, right? So I don't have to track my time using a tracker. So really, it's up to me when I want to do the work or when I want to delegate. And for me, what motivates me is my family. So basically, I have to provide for my family. But I would say, on top of motivation, because motivation, it doesn't last. You can have motivation now, but then um, depending on what you attach that motivation to, it could be gone the next day. So I would say, on top of motivation, you also have to have discipline. So discipline will be the driving force that keeps you going. And when motivation is in a low point, you still have your discipline that, okay, this is what I need to do. This is what I need to focus on today, and that ensures that you continue on even though you have no boss.
All right. All right. So really discipline and having that work ethic is
Yeah,
really very, very important. Yeah. So you mentioned discipline. So how do you manage your time? Like, can you give us a picture of what your
right.
day looks like? What are the things that you do, and how do you get things going?
Right. Yeah. So I tried this habit of, before ending the day, I list like top 3 or 4 things that I need to get done tomorrow. That way, I have direction as to what I want to focus on the next day. So that's in order of priority. So the first thing that I write down, that's the first thing that I need to get done, so on and so forth. And so the next day, I usually start by building. I don't start with the business itself, doing client work. I start with building the business. So that's connecting. I set aside time to connect with potential clients. I set aside time to create content for myself that would hopefully attract clients and hopefully build on my brand as well. So I'm working on a long term project where I have my own brand where I can generate income from. And once I'm done with that, then I can focus on doing the client work. So yeah, basically, I have a framework where I just follow on a day-to-day basis, and yeah, ensures that I get things done.
All right. And how about the your team? How do you manage them? How do you, I guess, monitor them or even motivate them?
Right, right. So we have a Slack Slack channel. So if anyone doesn't know, it's basically a messenger app, but it's not on Facebook. It's just more convenient way to connect with my two team members and um, update them on what needs to get done today. And then, of course, on top of delegating, I also um, teach them a little bit about business, like why we are doing what we are doing, what does it mean to the business owner that we are helping, because I think it's important to understand why you're doing something and not just do it, right? So especially my assistant video editor bro is actually a student. He
Mm.
reached out to me on Instagram because he saw one of my videos, and he was asking for advice on how to look for clients. And I liked his initiative, and we did a test edit, and I liked what he did, so that's why I took him on. So he's still a student, he's still learning a lot. Although I'm super love his attitude, because when I was a student, I wasn't thinking of he's a high school student, and at that time, for me personally, I wasn't thinking of having a side hustle, and so that's why I really like his attitude, and that's why I want to teach him to not just become an assistant, a video editor, but to become a business owner.
All right, and that is a good segue, to Benjamin's question.
Mhm.
Um, can you talk about the difference between business owner and self-employed? Because you've been both, right?
Yeah, yeah.
You've done this, I guess, as just a self-employed guy,
Mhm.
and then now you realize that it's enough to do this alone. Now you're
Yeah,
starting to branch out. You're starting to build a business. So I think you're best suited to tell us the difference between a business
yeah,
owner and someone who is self-employed.
yeah. So basically, a self-employed person is you're taking on projects, right, from different clients, but you're doing everything on your own, right? So let's say you're doing copywriting. So in that sense, you're doing the copy itself. You're doing everything that's needed in the project from start to finish, right? Whereas if you're a business owner, you don't have to do everything. There, you already have a system in place where you can deliver what the client needs, but you don't have to do everything. So in my case, as a YouTube channel manager, I don't have to edit all the videos because I already have a video editor helping me, and so it gives me more time to work on my business, which is looking for leads, creating content for the channel, and once the video is done, then I can go ahead and review it. Then I can send it to the client, right? So yeah, that's the biggest difference. Like if you're a business owner, you're not doing everything on your own. You're not doing all the details, the little details. You're more focused on building the business itself, the vision of the business, where you want to lead it, and growing it so that it becomes sustainable and optimizing it.
All right. Yeah. Very, very important points that you raised there. Now, because when you're thinking as a self-employed, like contractor, that you're just thinking of the next job, the next client.
Yep,
You're not
exactly.
really thinking about, scaling up. Not even thinking about, what will you do if, say, if you get sick, right? Or if you plan to
Right,
retire, right?
right.
How do you do that? So everyone, I think everyone, not just self-employed people, even if you're employed, right? I think you should, think about transitioning, to become a business owner. But of course, it's not for everyone, right? Are
Yeah.
there any qualities, bro? If What kind of qualities does a person need to have or develop, to
Mhm.
become a successful freelancer or YouTube channel manager?
Right, right. Yeah, great question, bro. Like, if you want to become, I want to focus on becoming a business owner, right? You need to learn not just specific like technical skills, but you also have to think about leadership, right? You have to think about having a vision. How are you gonna motivate your people? So it's not for everybody, because there are people who are just happy to do the work, right? To not worry about building a business, scaling it. Yeah, so if you're somebody who is just happy following other people or following just doing client work, then maybe having a business isn't for you. But if you're somebody who wants to grow and scale and lead other people, then yeah, um, that's the trait that you want to have, is to have that leadership, that you want to develop leadership. You want to have a bigger vision for yourself and for the company that you want to grow.
All right. Now I'm curious, bro. What's your vision for your company?
Right. So my vision, bro, my long term goal is to have this YouTube channel management business automated. So I have people doing the video editing. I have people doing the copy for each videos, the analytics. Basically, it's on autopilot. I just need to review some stuff and have basically lead, have be a leader for the company, not do all the little details within the company. And my long term goal is to build my own brand, which is the Filipino Freelancer brand, because I want to earn more from that, from my own content rather than from client work. Really, that's my long term goal, is to start earning from my own content, from hopefully my own digital products in the futures, maybe courses, maybe ebooks, some strategy guides here and there that can help other people. And so, yeah, that my vision is to have this business be on autopilot, and then me working on my own brand and earning or generating income from that.
All right. Well, I look forward to that time, bro. I'm pretty sure that you will also be, one of the more influential YouTube experts here in the platform, and maybe not just YouTube, right? Definitely. Do you have plans to expand to other platforms?
Yeah, definitely. YouTube is just like the main, right? The main platform,
Mm,
but there
mm,
are so many other platforms there. I just think that if you're just starting out, like building an audience, it's important to focus on one at first, because
mhm,
um, especially if you're doing it on your own, right? It's gonna take a lot of time. And if you're on all the platforms, because each platform has its own distinct content, right? The long form content that we have on YouTube is not gonna work on Instagram. It's not
mhm.
gonna work. It's not gonna translate to all platforms, basically. So my advice is focus on one first, and then once you have that audience, that following, then you can start and branch out to other platforms.
All right. Well, that actually makes a lot of sense because,
Mhm.
like, especially for me, I'm a solopreneur. It's
Mhm.
very hard to keep track of all of these platforms, technology, changes. A lot of things change all the time. Uh, how about you, bro? What are you like researching right now? What's
Mhm.
getting you interested right now? What are you studying, for your own business?
Right, right. I'm reading a lot of books about entrepreneurship, actually, creative entrepreneurship. I follow this YouTube channel called The Future, where they talk about the business of design and the business of creativity. And they have a lot of books there about how to come up with proposals, how to talk with clients. Like one Benjamin mentioned earlier, that um, he wanted to see a live cold call in real estate. We also have that live call in freelancing. So I'm learning about. I'm watching content on how can you talk to clients, how can you diagnose and gather data from them. So yeah, I'm just basically reading stuff on how to level up myself as a business owner. How can I get more clients? How can I talk to clients better? How can I communicate better?
All right. So it's not really the technology. You're more of learning or researching more on how to build a successful business.
Yes, exactly, bro.
All right. Very interesting. Now, who are the three people who have been most influential to you?
Right, great question, bro. So probably the first person that comes to mind is a man called John Pagulayan. He is the founder of the Freelance Movement Tribe. It's a freelancing community here in the Philippines who teaches Filipinos a different brand of freelancing. And the reason why I mention him is because it was his newsletter. I joined his newsletter years ago, and it was that it sparked that entrepreneurship in me, that freelancing business mindset in me that I hadn't thought of before. And so when I joined the tribe, that's where I leveled up my mindset. I started thinking as a business owner and not an employee. So he has really been influential in his teachings, in his programs, to the person I am today and to the business owner that I am today. So yeah, I would definitely say um, Coach John Pagulayan. The second person is a foreigner. He is actually very similar to Coach John as well. His name is Chris Doe. He is the founder of the Future. It's actually very similar to the tribe, but it's more focused on creative businesses. So that's brand strategy, graphic design, logo design. So he's also been very influential because he has a lot of videos on YouTube talking about how do you price your service, how do you talk to clients. They have live role plays where they actually talk to prospects, pretending to talk to prospects, and how do they handle objections. So I've learned a lot from that, and I've actually used those concepts in my actual business and has helped me grow my business. And third, I would say it's a it's a YouTuber. Not surprisingly, his name is Chris Broad. He makes content about Japan, and I just like the way he creates content for his audience and the way he communicates, the way he presents his videos is something that I aspire to do.
All right, all right. And you, actually, listening to you, you carry yourself well, you communicate well, you have a great voice. How did you develop that, bro?
Thanks, bro. Actually, it would be surprising for other people to know that I lean more towards being an introvert. So, if you knew me back in when I was a young kid, or even in high school or college, I was pretty reserved. But then I wanted to, become a better person, and so I realized that if I wanted to do this, I would have to become or lean more towards being an extrovert. And so I started making videos, and at first it was really awkward. It was really challenging, but I pushed myself because that's what I wanted to pursue. And so over time, I developed the skills of talking on camera, being able to communicate better. By no means was I like this when I started. It was all, trying and learning and developing it the more I did it.
All right, all right. Really just learning and learning on the job. Right.
Yeah,
So
exactly, exactly.
I really love, this has been a really, really valuable interview. We'll be winding down, in the with the last two questions. But before I ask John these last two or three questions, please make sure to smash the like button again for the YouTube algorithm and subscribe to the channel to hear more interviews like this. And if you have any specific interest, like Benjamin mentioned earlier, he likes to see more real estate focused topics. But if you like to hear other people or other ways of making money, please make sure, or any specific person. Like maybe if you want me to interview Chris Doe or John Pagulayan,
Yeah.
the aspirational guests, right? Maybe
Exactly.
if you want to hear from specific people, maybe investors, right? Investors in real estate, because Benjamin is interested in
Mhm.
investing. So if there are any specific people that you'd like me to interview, please let me know also in the chat box. All right, so we're just winding down, bro.
Mhm.
Uh, where or can you give us an idea of how much does a YouTube channel manager make, or how much can they make?
Right, right. So yeah, it. It depends really on like the size of each project, but for me, I've learned to have like this minimum engagement, right? So my minimum engagement for a project is at least $1,000. Now, if you think about it, $1,000 is a lot of money, right? When you think about it in terms of pesos, that's 50,000 pesos, right? But if you think about it from the side of a business owner who's generating thousands of dollars a month, then that $1,000, especially for the value that you're giving, is a steal, is a bargain,
Hmm.
right? So,
Hmm.
um, for me, I just try to package it in a way where I have a minimum price that I can have profit on, right? I can cover my expenses, but at the same time, the deliverables are not too demanding, and at the same time, I can give value to the client. So right now, bro, I can honestly say that I'm making more than 100,000 pesos per month with 3 or 4 clients. And if you had told me that years ago, I would not have believed you, because like generating that much of an income working from home, it's just I could not grasp that concept. But yeah, but now that I know what's possible, um, that's how much you can earn, and not just from YouTube channel management. You can do the same thing with different niches. In fact, I know freelancers who are copywriters, who earn way more than that, and the reason is because copywriting, you actually need copywriting in everything that you do. So
Yeah.
for example, bro, in our YouTube channels, we need to do copywriting on the description of our videos, in our posts that we share. So yeah, I know a lot of people in the copywriting niche who earn a lot from their freelancing business.
All right, all right. Just last two questions, bro.
Sure, bro.
If they want to reach you, like for example, I don't know if we have anyone who's interested to take
Mhm.
you on, as a YouTube channel manager. But say for example, someone's looking for a job, or
Right.
someone wants to learn how to become a YouTube channel manager, maybe learn some tips and tricks from you. How do they contact you?
Sure. So yeah, basically you can contact me on YouTube. So just it's youtube.com/Filipino freelancer, or you can just search Filipino freelancer. I should be the first one there because I'm the only one with that channel name. And either that or in my Facebook page as well, Filipino freelancer. In both platforms, I reply to all the comments anyway. So yeah, that would be a good place for you to connect. And yeah, feel free to ask me any questions, and I would be glad to help and be of service.
All right, all right. So that's youtube.com slash
Uh,
Filipino freelancer.
yep,
So
yep.
let me just make sure that I can show that there. Is that correct spelling, bro?
Yes, bro, exactly.
All right, all right. And then just my last question, to wrap up this interview. Since this is an investing channel, or this
Mhm.
is more of a finance channel, bro, how about you? What are you investing in, or how are you preparing for retirement?
Right. Great question, bro. I actually have investments in the stock market. So I use this online platform where I invest in certain stocks that I think will perform or will increase in value over time. So I think that's a great long term investment. Basically, setting aside a certain amount for investment in stocks, insurance as well. Also invest in insurance. I like investing, bro, in these long term type of investments where, because I think most people are focused on short term gains, right? Even me,
Yes.
that's what I lean towards too. So I'm trying to train myself to think about things that I can invest on that won't necessarily have return now, but down the line, like 10 years from now, 20 years from now, I'll be set, right? So that's why I'm investing in stocks and insurance.
All right, all right. Is that stocks in the Philippines or
Yep.
global?
Yeah, stocks in the Philippines for now,
Stocks
though.
in the Philippines. All right, all right. Well, I hope that you will tune into my channel so that you can learn how to invest in the US stock market.
Definitely, bro. Definitely, we'll be watching your videos.
All right. And bro, you have a new fan. No, Benjamin has just subscribed to you. All right.
Oh, thank you
So
so much. Thank you so
at the,
much, Benjamin.
at the very least, I was able to add one subscriber to you, bro.
No, bro, no. It's my pleasure to be on your channel and give value to your audience. Thank
All
you again,
right.
bro, for inviting me to your channel. I really treasure these moments to be able to collaborate with people like
Mhm.
yourself.
Awesome, awesome. Well, thank you very much, John, for spending this whole hour, with us. Regards to your wife. Happy birthday, also.
Thank
And
you, bro.
I hope you don't get tired. No, maybe hopefully you can come back again soon. Maybe when you're earning more than maybe double or triple your rate
Right.
already.
Definitely, bro. Definitely.
All right, all right. So with that, guys, thank you for staying with us. And please make sure again to smash the like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so. If there are any if there are any comments or topics that you'd like to discuss in the channel, any people that you'd like me to interview, please let me know in the comment section below. And I hope that all of you guys will consider becoming a YouTube channel manager, a freelancer, and definitely an investor. So with that, again, thank you again, guys. Hope to see you in the next video, and may all of your deals push through.